Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sharp Talk Podcast. I'm Tom, aka Tom, hosting Outdoors on YouTube and Instagram. Today I'm joined by my normal co-host, Gerald, who is Outpost 76 on YouTube and Instagram. We have Alex, who is Alex_knifebox on Instagram, and Alex's Knifebox on YouTube.
Did we forget, Tom? Did we almost forget?
What? Well, I have listen. I got my little note card here. It was on the opposite side.
You need a note card after a year.
Listen, I know your handles. I know your handles, but the Alex Steingraber was right underneath of Jake's, so I got confused.
Not knife maker, knife collector.
Yeah, knife collector. You're not a maker.
Right. So it should be pretty easy to remember. Tom.
Yes. I just crossed Alex's out, so I don't do that again. We got our newest co-host, our permanent co-host, Jake from Bearded Gear. You can find him on YouTube at Bearded Gear and on Instagram at bearded_gear. And today we have a special guest with us. We have Joe from The Knife Whisperer on YouTube. And the longest at on Instagram I think we've had to date is at Joe Frazier 101182. So thank you for joining us on the podcast this week, Joe.
We just lost Joe, by the way. He just popped off.
Okay. Well, so he missed his intro.
Joe back.
He missed his intro.
Welcome to the podcast, Joe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's here in spirit.
He's whispering to us through YouTube.
Yes. Let me try and just add him back here real quick.
See if we can add him back in. So yeah, welcome everyone to the fun and excitement and clusterfuck. And I'm glad to see y'all. I missed all four of your faces. Saw Jake.
Saw you like 2 days ago.
But I did see Jake more recently. So I missed his face less.
Yeah, you guys had that secret backwoods meetup.
Yeah. We're going to do it again, too.
Plus, we had a secret parking lot meetup after that.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how I didn't think that those freaking Brokeback Mountain jokes wouldn't come along.
They stayed out of my comment section.
There was one guy, and I got all like childish and replied. I should just not said anything, but I'm like, how about two straight guys, married with kids, in the woods talking about knives?
Oh my God! You just described Brokeback Mountain.
No, they're not straight though. You see, they weren't straight, and they weren't talking about knives.
Alex, it's 2020. Are you assuming that I'm straight?
Wow.
Wow. Well, I saw some family pictures. I just assumed that wasn't a front,
BJ wants me to ask you, Alex, if you got poked by a knife or possibly something else.
Have I gotten poked by a knife or something else?
Yeah, when you were out with Jake.
Oh, who asked that?
BJ.
Oh, BJ. What's up, BJ? BJ doesn't love me anymore. He used to message me sometimes and say, what's up?
Hold
BJ.
On. Someone named BJ is asking about gay stuff?
Yeah. Yes. What a great comeback.
Just saying.
I didn't even think of that myself. BJ, I missed you, buddy.
He sent a bunch of kissy faces for you.
Aw, good old little BJ.
We got Paul in here, too.
I wonder if BJ still has his beard.
I still need to
thing,
don't I?
He's got like kind of a thinner beard though. It's not like the Bearded Gear beard.
Paul says Alex is okay.
Alex is okay.
Yeah, BJ said I love some Alex. Paul goes Alex is okay.
Well, I'm just gonna be passed around like that. I mean, and rated. Let's start a Yelp.
Let's start a Yelp. Jesus Christ. Trying to get Joe to join back in here, but let's see.
Come on back to us, Joe.
What's up, Bama?
I just wanted to hear that the Knife Whisperer loves me.
Should have heard what he was saying before he jumped on.
So you know what? You know what I really like about Joe? I really am kind of digging that whole the knife confessions. It does sound a little bit, you know, it's interesting.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never watched any of his videos. Give me a quick synopsis.
So he does these things called the Knife Confessions on Monday. What he does is he sits in the car while he's driving and hanging out. He'll talk to the phone, which is us, and he'll tell us a knife story, which is something relating to like what knife guys do that might be weird to normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever flicked your knife 1,000 times, at your wife and she gets irritated, or like something like, does it take you half an hour to pick out the knife that you want to take with you in the morning? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like that's his whole like synopsis. And he did a tag video that actually was interestingly scored really high on my channel. So
Really?
which was the Impractical Knives.
Oh, cool.
I still need to film that.
So that video did really impressive for some reason, and I literally, that's one video I had no script, no nothing, no intentions of just putting some knives down and doing a stupid video real quick. It's funny, huh? And then the ones you spend time on, they're like, they do okay.
It's never the ones you think are gonna do great that crush it.
Right?
See, it's the opposite. There's videos I put out that I know that are gonna do well, but it's like
But the video that me and Jake did pretty damn well. Actually, I got a lot of messages like on the side. People said they really dig that it was a cool idea, So we'll do some more of those.
So you're telling me I have to fly out to California?
Really do it. Go
Dude, if you want to come out to the mountains with a couple of guys, spend an
Let's see what
afternoon.
them tiny hands are made of.
Yeah. You know what I love about that is Tom's hands would make it look so big.
I was just gonna say. I was trying to find a good way to word that.
Oh my
Damn,
god!
you look like a porn star, Alex.
Tom's tiny hands
like
wrapped around my danger pickle. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Listen. It's either that or it'd make my hands look giant.
I don't know, man. I don't even think you can make a rabbit. You can hold a rabbit's and make your hands look giant.
I'm not sure what that means at all, but I'm gonna agree.
I can hold a rabbit and they look giant. Got it.
A rabbit's penis.
There it is.
A lucky rabbit's foot.
I guess you didn't get my reference.
No, I got it.
What I meant was rabbit's penis, which is probably
I just
really
wanted
small.
you to say
Rabbits are
repeatedly.
usually very small, right? Like rabbits are small. There
yeah,
he is.
again,
Joe's
Come
back.
back.
This
We're
is
talking about rabbit.
What?
penises.
worst fucking start to an episode ever.
Hey, sorry.
You missed the whole talk about rabbit cock.
God damn.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So we're gonna move right along past that though.
Thank God.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel, Joe? Like, what's your synopsis? Like, what's your thing? Tell people who haven't seen your channel, like, what's your idea behind it and what's your plans for it?
Okay, I'm just your regular, everyday, hard-working American who loves sharp things, and one of those. I've always liked knives, but I didn't really appreciate the finer knives until about a couple years ago, and I don't know. I just started watching YouTube videos, and I just got drawn in, and you guys know how it goes. You start out at $50, and I'll never buy a $200 knife. Well, you buy it, and now you want a $400 knife, and I always wanted to do a channel just to because I like watching them so much, and I just want to put a different spin on it. Try to go on more of my personality, not stats and stuff.
That's good, man.
And I might act like an idiot in my videos, but that's me. I'm just I'm that dork that everybody likes to have around because they like to laugh at me, and I enjoy it too. Just living the dream.
Well, we'll laugh at you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I really enjoy your knife confession videos. I always get a good chuckle out of a lot of them. I think you're doing a good job, and just keep doing what you're doing. I think your stats are rocking for how short of time you're going.
Yeah.
So just keep your momentum, focus on yourself more than the knives, and the rest of it comes along. Like some of us, like a tabletop person like me, relies on what kind of knife he has, because I'm not using my personality for my video. It's all about really like whatever I'm holding. I try to be detailed about it. So what you're doing is very different, and which is cool because it's less about the knife. It's more about the knife collector. So keep that thing going, man. I think you're doing a really good job. I will send you that knife. I have to send Gerald out a set of nails, and a bunch of parts of Mannix too. And I got to send Dirk a knife back. I got to take a chamois apart and do some stuff and send it back to him. So I got shit to ship out next week, so I'll send it out next week for you. I just hate going to the post office.
That'd be awesome.
Because in mine, it's like literally a 50-minute wait in line, so I try to knock it out all in one visit.
Oh man, I hear you. It's never fun.
So, but take care of that knife. That's those are hard to get.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even use my own, so I won't do anything with yours.
All right.
Look, I would hope that what I'm sending you, since it's actually been used, that you will actually cut something with it.
I'll find something to cut. I'll find something to cut. I'll go walk in the rougher part of town, see if I can rough up some suspects.
Trying to get your knife wet.
I actually am gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be doing a cut test, gents.
Oh,
What are you
I'm gonna
cutting?
do my first cut test
Marshmallows?
video. So I'm having Alex make me a knife with Rex 121 at 70 HRC.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna do a cut test.
Are you in on his batch that he has going right now?
No, me and him are
Sounds
just kind of doing our own little side project.
Gotcha. I'm on the books for the next run of those. I told him, I'm like, yeah, I can't swing it right now. He goes, I'm putting you on the books anyhow. Okay.
Yeah, Alex is cool.
Yeah.
Him and I have been
next
chatting
time-
a lot actually. So I ordered some OG Westinghouse micarta for it, and we'll have a nice fancy performing fixed blade. I already told him, like, I'm putting it through. He's like, yeah, man, go ahead and make a video, because when you do that cut test with that 70 HRC, you're going to have to speed it up because your beard's going to keep growing, because it's going to take so long for that thing to go dull. You're going to have a white beard. I'm like, who said anything about cardboard, man? I'm putting that thing through PVC pipe. It's going to go through copper. It's going to go through. He's like, no, don't do that with it. That's not what it's made for.
Yeah. Tell him that he's going to get that knife back in pieces.
Oh,
Next
man.
time we do our broken mountain thing,
you
we
warrant
should each
your
pick a
stuff.
fixed
I have like 2 pieces of knife. I'm like, is there a warranty for this?
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I highly recommend Alex out there, guys. If you guys are looking for a really high performance, custom-ish fixed blade. I'm going to call him a custom because, I mean, he's a one-man show, does it all by hand.
Yep.
And he kind of tailors, like, the knife the way you want it. Like, he's already asking me, what do you want to cut with it? What kind of steel you want? Like, I mean, that's as custom as you can really get.
Yeah. He's
I
just,
mean, when the guy asks you, like, what heat treat do you want? Where do you go somewhere and somebody tells you, like, how hard do you want your steel?
like, he's
right?
performance focused, and I don't want to say he's not fit and finish focused, because, like, my stuff was really, really well finished from him. But it's like, you can tell that he's a performance first kind of guy, which is cool.
Of course.
I haven't heard how hard do you want it in a while.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a good problem to have, buddy.
Yeah.
So we skipped over. What are we carrying today, guys?
Let's start with our guest.
All right. Well, today I got my new 601.
All right.
Now this is an oldie but a goodie. I went with this over the Alliance Designs.
Pull it back from the
Anti-Ballistic.
screen just a little bit so we could see it.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah,
See,
that's
they got that pretty grind, but it makes for a really fat tip though. But it's all right. And I wanted to bring this one on to show you guys the Riot iron.
Ooh, I like that.
that's a cool one.
The inlay work on this is stupid. Like there's no transition at all.
I really liked
And
that
it's
one when I
nice
first saw
soft. Nice soft M390.
it.
That's actually a good point. How's Riot's M390, Gerald?
Well, I've tested
I-
3. One did a little better than average, and the other, the Chavez 229, that's built by Riot, that did I did about what M4 does, like 330 feet.
Wow.
And then the Riot Horizon D did about what my PM2 did, like 400 feet.
Which
So
is
they're
an older
considered-
one too.
Yeah, the only one, it was a K1, and I think it did a little over 200 feet.
Right. That's
I mean, look, it's crazy to say that an M390 a little bit better than S30V is better than average.
Have you tested old Wii S35? Like the
No,
older model?
well, how old? I mean, I had a Wii done.
Like- My 601. It's like 2015.
No,
I might send it to you because I've heard good things about it.
I'm actually going to use it though.
That's fine. That's fine.
Actually, the way Gerald cut tests, you're probably least likely to get scratches on your blade with all the cutting and stuff that he does, and you'll get your knife resharpened on the way back too.
True.
Nice.
And it's
Well, I
gonna
want
be
to
way
get rid
better
of.
than factory.
I want to get the black coating off it anyway, so I'm not worried.
There's a few guys out there that would be comfortable sending in like a custom knife to fix a bevel or something like that. And Gerald and Tom are both like one of those individuals. Steve's pretty good too, I'm sure.
Steve's a
Nice.
freehand guy, though.
Well, Steve, yeah, it's different. It's freehand.
Well, when I send your stuff back, Jared, I'll send the Wii in with it.
All right.
Very cool. What are you carrying, Gerald?
Do I need to tell you?
I know what
Is
it
it a
is.
Mammoth?
Nope.
Oh, even better.
15.
You know I'm a fan.
Dude, that's the only knife I've looked at recently. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to get one of those.
They're getting harder and harder to find, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
and Alex
finished
will
up
tell
my
you
review.
it's kind of dude, it's just a killer knife.
yeah. Yeah. That's one of those knives I don't think I'll ever separate from.
No, it would probably be
That's
the
awesome.
very last one I would ever sell.
Yeah. I feel pretty similar. Looks like Jake's got the production one, huh? How do you
It's
like
just
that?
A loner. The G10 is way rougher than I feel like it needs to be, but that's cold steel
That's
for you.
only a production problem, that one. Because I
Yeah.
saw they have like that rough texture, right?
Yeah, it's like super, super rough checkering. I don't know if it's gonna
Right.
come through at all, but yeah, that's my only real gripe with it. I've never handled the custom, so I don't know if that action is way better than this one or what. But this one's
Yes.
fun to play with.
Yes.
The lock is so fun.
Wait, the 8015 is
Yeah.
discontinued now?
I think so.
It shows that way on Knife Center's site.
I think
Is he,
I think
is
it's
he
only
never
80
making
20s
more, or
for
he's
a
just
while.
making the 80-20 and then he'll come back to it?
Ugh, I've seen
And I think
8020. I
they're
didn't like it.
already working. They're already working on something else, I think, other than the 80-20.
Hmm.
So, wait,
I
shit!
like
Was
the
I supposed to say that?
8020 looks nice, but I'm not a fan of that lock the way it looks. I don't know.
The shark lock.
I
Yeah.
like it. I'm gonna definitely order one. I'm already working with John on that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work for everybody. I don't think everybody's going to like it. I think I will be fine with it.
I'm sure it'll be fine though. He's a smart dude.
Yeah. Well, he's all about.
I still want to check one out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Blade Banker loved it. Blade Banker's got pretty good taste. He knows what.
I don't like the mix
Steve
of the
has
thumb
one
stud.
too.
Yeah, I don't like the mix of the thumb stud and the hole in the blade.
Well, no, you can get them without the hole.
Okay, I was gonna say for me it's just pick one.
The one with the hole is the custom, right? And the Warncliffe is a custom. He only has the drop point without the hole, and thumb studs is the mid tech, and that one's $425.
Wow,
that's so cheap for a Demco.
Yeah, it is.
So cheap. I actually was shocked. I expected it to be like $100 or $200 more.
Where do we find these at?
What, Demco?
Yeah.
80
right on his site.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
But he's also made posts that he's had some batches of them going out to retailers, like 24 at a time. So.
Well, yeah, Nightjoy had a whole bunch.
I do want to try one of his knives eventually.
Yeah. Jake, what are you carrying?
I have 2 knives on me, in typical Bearded Gear
How
fashion.
inappropriate.
I have the Giant Mouse Ace Grand.
Oh yeah.
I'm about
I
to
get
send this
that.
to a buddy. It's such a fun knife. Since
great
I'm sending it out tomorrow or the next day, I wanted a little more time with it before it goes.
I would have got that if it was in stock.
Yeah, I was lucky. The morning of the drop, I was like an hour and a half late after they had dropped, and I was still able to snag one. And then I've also got the Spyderco Watu, which I'm just about
That's cool.
finished up.
I'm not into that knife.
It's a weird one. It's stupid slicey. It's like, as production Spydercos go, it's really thin behind the edge, and it's a nice thin blade stock. It's 20 CV. I thought this knife seems like one that they would have done in S30V, so I'm stoked that they didn't. But I don't know. It's the ergos work. It's a good cutter. It's just funky looking. And
What's the weight on that?
I do not know. I'm not a specs guy, but it feels about the same as a Pair 3 to me. Maybe even a tiny bit heavier, just because the liners are more.
So mid,
that's probably
3 ounce.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it's probably just shy of 4 ounces. It's unique.
Yeah, because I there's a lot of YouTubers that rave about that Spyderco right now. I just can't get around the way it looks. It's
funky.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though. I bet if you started carrying it and using it a lot, it's definitely looks like a useful design, or there wouldn't be a reason why a tribe uses that particular knife design.
Yeah, it totally
it's
works.
a cool design. I see the functionality behind it, but if I wanted something like that, I might just go a little bit smaller and just get a chaparral if I want something super thin. I love that chaparral.
I'd use that to shave my legs. I need a new knife for that.
There you go.
As long as you're not trimming the midsection, because you don't want to cut anything off that you don't intend to, you know?
I don't need it anymore. Gets me in trouble.
Tom, what you carrying?
Still the K390 PM2. It's on edge number 2 now.
All right.
For the long-term carry project.
You need to get a couple more edges on that and actually use it.
Well, I've got 3 or 4 on it from the original testing. So technically it's on like 6 or 7 right now. I'm saying of the project, this is edge 2.
All right. Well, that's almost not interesting.
Thank
since you. The last same knife you've brought out 3 times.
Listen,
I mean,
you know
what? How many knives do you own, Tom?
Like 15 right now, but like that's
all
just...
right. So what the hell? Let's
Listen,
rotate something else around.
Alex, this no,
Hey,
it's
the Sharp Talk podcast. I better carry something interesting today.
Nope, this is the way that it goes. This is the life of a cut testing YouTuber, bro. You you have a long-term carry project, and this is the only thing you carry till you get done with that project. Gerald knows.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, and there's times when you put a knife in your pocket, and 3 days in, you're like, "Why the hell did I pick this knife? I
Yep.
don't want to carry this for a month or two."
That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, well, I'm this deep. I guess I got to keep going.
I'm carrying a PM2 again.
I gotta admit, I don't hate the PM2, but I definitely don't love it.
I think the last time I carried my PM2 was probably almost a year ago. I mean, I like the PM2. It's a great knife,
You're
but
not missing much.
yeah, I mean, I carried it a whole bunch in my earlier collector years, you know?
Yeah.
And I do like the Mannix better. Actually, I have been carrying a Mannix around a lot. I actually brought it right here. This is the one that I'm just gonna steal the backspacer out of my old one before I ship it out to Gerald, but this is the one that's replacing it.
That's
That's
awesome.
that,
Yeah, and that's definitely a cool one.
right? I thought it was okay. A CPM 154 and a S90 core. That's pretty cool.
That's the
So-
coolest Mannix, I think.
Dude, they do a really good job on their S90. Their S90 is much better than their S110.
Well, and that's what and this is kind of the reason why I got this, Gerald. You had some influence because I always hear you talking about Spyderco S90. So I figured there's no way to go wrong. It's a little fancy because it's got, you know, a Sanmai blade, but then it sounds so much different than my old 110. It's got kind of like a clickiness to it when it opens and closes. Like you can almost hear like a detent sound.
So
And my other one doesn't do that.
it's funny that you say that, Alex, because like all my Sprint ones don't. Like my Crewwear doesn't do that. My 4V doesn't do that. My Rex 45 doesn't do that. But at the shop, we keep getting S30V ones in, and every single S30V one has like that double click sound,
That nice click,
and I
right?
like it. And I was like,
This-
well, why the fuck
that's
does
what
my
this
Sprint
has.
ones don't do that?
I mean, you could hear it.
Yeah,
It's got just a nice.
it's just got a weird like it's almost like a double click on opening and closing.
Yeah, you can hear it when it closes. Got
Have you
that.
guys ever had the XL?
I've
No.
handled it. It's just too big.
Is it-
But you know what I did on?
I owned one.
The small one. Did you guys know about the small one?
No.
The original.
There's a mini Mannix. It's a lockback, but it's a mini Mannix.
Yeah, it's the OG Mannix.
I've never seen that until a picture on Facebook or Instagram, like literally like a couple days ago. I'm like, I didn't even know that existed.
The OG was
Really?
smaller than the Mannix 2, and then they brought out the backlock one again, and it's still smaller than the full size.
Where is it, like Sage size?
That's what I would guess. I mean, I didn't hold it. I just saw a picture of it, but you could tell it's a substantially smaller. And then instead of having this, it's got a lockback. So
Huh.
Interesting.
I wish I would have jumped on one of those. I think I would have liked the lockback Mannix.
I'm still trying to figure out what scales are going to go with this clip.
Now I don't remember, Alex. Are those the smooth carbon fiber like the Crewwear,
This one is that
or is it the peel ply?
the peel ply. This is
Yeah.
the peel ply.
Because I like these smooth carbon fiber scale Mannixes I have.
The one that I sold you, Gerald, I think is my favorite variant of the Mannix, other than the one that Alex has.
Yeah, I think the smooth carbon fiber scales would go best with this clip. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Get some Seafoam Tarot Tough.
that'd be cool too.
Some
Which
blue
one?
fat carbon.
The Tarot Tough and Seafoam.
Ooh.
See, I would do blue fat carbon if I could find somebody who makes Mannix scales.
Yeah.
Dude, they're not that hard.
Sharp dress do it?
That's a good question. I usually deal with Eric Shepard.
Nah.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him before.
Alex, I have not really told anybody. I am making scales right now, so just wait.
Okay.
That Arctic Storm fat carbon would look nasty with that clip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it needs to be something with a little bit of blue. I'm already talking to Adrian in Australia. You know that guy that does all the Spyderco titanium hardware stuff?
Mhm.
So he's going to make me some blue hardware for it in titanium.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
maybe go with something a little bit darker then. You don't want so much blue in there.
Kind of why I was thinking standard carbon fiber, like Flytaniums, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding.
speaking of that, I'm assuming you also have that brass, or that, not the brass, the copper PM2 Rex 45.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Spyderco made those scales, or do you think those are Flytanium?
No. Well, it doesn't matter who made them. It's constructed like the lightweight Para 3.
Yeah, it's way different.
You know what I mean? It just has a bolted-in lock bar
It's
on one
linerless.
side with no liner on the other side because it's all copper.
That's kind of cool.
I just wonder if
I was
Spyderco did
curious
that
because
themselves.
Flytanium ships out of Blade HQ, and it's an employee there who is Flytanium, right?
Oh, really?
That's
Because
what I've heard.
Flytanium stuff's made overseas.
Yeah, China.
Right, but the guy behind Flytanium, I think, works at Blade HQ, and when you order Flytanium stuff, it ships from Blade HQ.
I didn't
So
know
the
that.
fact that the first all metal scaled variant came from Blade HQ, I immediately was like, oh, that's Flytanium.
I mean, it could absolutely be.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't remember Spyderco doing anything in their U.S. plant other than, I don't know, have they ever done titanium? Because I don't think they have.
Not on a PM2 or a Para
They've
3.
done the fluted titanium milli.
They did.
Yeah.
And the native. But nothing in copper, nothing in brass, or anything like that. It's always been titanium.
Those are usually all made in China. Most of those copper and brass accessories.
Yeah.
Most of the time. People don't like working with that material anyways because it's soft and,
Gummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Fingers stink.
Very gummy. So, but what I was carrying today is this guy again because I'm enjoying it so much. That's the Old Dominion Chupacabra. And it's just fun because it looks different on both sides, being that it's a bolstered frame lock. I really like that really cool hue they put on that frame. They made a beautiful 3D zirconium clip. That clip is so well sculpted. It's such
It
a
looks
nice.
really comfortable.
It's super comfortable, especially because it comes out so far. So when you grab it, it kind of just goes in between the fingers. So the knife itself is very comfortable, and you can see how far down that blade comes. You got a lot of edge before your knuckles will hit anything. A lot of belly.
That clip reminds me of the T-1000 from Terminator. Looks like a liquid clip.
Liquid metal.
Yeah, looks sweet.
Yeah, that's zirconium. So he put zirconium clip, and then he did the same thing with the pivot collar too. Kind of match it up. So Casey did a really nice job. This was one of those knives that I've had for years, and it had a lot of problems. And then I just sent it to him recently, and he redid the whole thing, and it went from being a knife with problems to being just unbelievably awesome. It's so ridiculous on the action. It's just nuts.
That's badass.
And it's super conductor. I love that material. It looks so cool.
Nice.
Anybody got anything new?
Yes.
Do you have the stuff, Alex?
Who's got the new stuff?
Not me.
I've got new stuff.
Nothing new? Gerald?
No, just that CJRB.
I see those a lot. They seem to be really popular right now.
Yeah, they were sold out for a while, but I'll just say the geometry is good and it is a cool design, but I'm not going to say anything else till Joe gets his.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Sounds good. I bought a Boker Mortem. It is the production version of the heater.
The cheater.
The cheater, yeah. So we're gonna have some fun making a video with that guy. You know, it's getting stuck in a tree for sure.
I've never been more ashamed.
You and Jake need to do a video together with those.
I know,
We'll
because
bush
Jake
craft
has
with
one too. And I got DDR Knives of China working on making a clip for me right now. Oh, it's gonna be so funny, man.
It's just gonna be a
Oh,
dick
man.
He's all in for it. But I told him, like he's crude, so I told him like keep it PG-13 because it's gonna go as a clip on my YouTube. He's like, all right, I'm gonna talk about his business ethics. I'm gonna talk about his, oh my God, here we go. This is gonna be
Hilarious.
great.
So, go big or go home.
That's right. So I got that coming. I got a couple builds in the book that I'm not even going to mention because some of them are like 6 months down the road and whatnot. But I am getting a Kurt America custom coming in maybe a few weeks. So I finally got one. This will be my first custom that's got a really sweet Hamon on it. So it's going to be a carbon steel folder.
Nice.
I can't remember what steel he's doing. I always want to think with Hamon's 1095, but who knows? I forgot. I'll have to ask him. So he's already got the blade done. It looks beautiful, and he's doing the handle, and we'll see how that is because I heard he's pretty highly recommended by a lot of people.
Do you have the drifter by you, Alex?
What's that?
Do you have the drifter by you?
I don't, but I probably can get to it pretty quick.
Oh, no, that's all right. I'll just look at the pictures later. I've been looking at them every night.
They're very nice. I mean, for $825, I don't think you could do much better.
I messaged Steve Skiff about going on the Knife Junkie, and I got it all set up for him.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that'll be good.
That'll be a good one. He did one with Levon from Knife Nuts Podcast today, so I'll enjoy listening to that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
And then another one I got back recently, guys, is I did get back my custom Medina, the one with the Razor Damascus. So this one got fixed too. All zirconium and Westinghouse micarta. That's beautiful. Another nice example of a handmade knife.
That's
no
amazing.
CNC. So that's kind of cool. It's almost perfect. I think the only thing that bugs me a little bit is that the lock bar needs to wear on the liner, but there's no steel lock bar insert. It's a custom knife. Not most of them don't have it. So it's titanium on steel. So you can hear it. There's a little bit of a little crunch noise. Other than that, action's perfect. Blade is sharp. Action's amazing. It's a cool knife.
That's nice. Reminds me of a Borka.
A little bit, or like a large mini goblin, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
yeah, I
large
can
mini
see
goblin.
that.
That's what I always thought. I thought it looked like a huge mini goblin.
So just a goblin.
But that was
Yeah.
cool. And I got my first Riot knife.
That a boy.
So I got this mini
Wingman.
Dr. Death. That's the Wingman EDC.
Tom Mayo.
Mayo collaboration with Recon One. It's got the kickstop flipper. So when it's deployed, there's no flipper tab. You can see it kind of like sits flat in there. It's got its own little ball bearing that it works off of. I haven't taken it apart yet to see exactly how it works, but I think I remember Epic Snuggle Bunny did a disassembly on this thing. So, but it's cool. Very nice knife. I think it's a lot of money. $500 for a Riot.
That's too much. Yeah.
I mean, I get it's got a hand rub satin blade, and it's got the kick stop. It's all tight. It's nice.
My Diskin did too, and I mean that was what, $375.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I guess it's probably because of the kick stop, and also I would say Recon One probably has a big influence on that price too.
There's a little more royalties in that knife.
Yeah. So, but it's cool. I bought it from Spirited Whiskey on Instagram, and I got it for $400 instead of $500. So, cool. It was a good deal. And then the last one I got was this beaver tail from Great Eastern Cutlery. And as you can see, it's a liner lock.
That's awesome.
That's a big one.
It's very large. It's 3.75 inches. This is the pattern. Was it 23? I think. And I have another one that's just a slip joint without this little lock tab, but I thought this was interesting. But it still has that half stop. It's literally a slip joint with just like a lock bar. And I think with the lock bar being here, it actually makes this knife more dangerous to close. Less dangerous to use, but more dangerous to close. Because when you put your finger in there, you have to put so much pressure to overcome that half stop. You have to make sure you move your finger out of the way.
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
That's sketchy a little bit.
But it'll make a cool video because that weird lock bar that they put in there. So, and that is all I have. As
Nice.
usual.
Nice. I only got 2 new things this time. I feel like it was a slow couple of weeks for me. I got more loners than that, but more like showing off loners. I got a Spyderco Pical.
Oh, how do you like
Orange.
that?
It's kind of surprised me. I dig it a lot more. I thought it was just going to be like gimmicky and weird for the sake of being weird, but it's kind of a lot of fun to cut with because it's just like this weird hawkbill thing, and it actually kind of works in a regular grip, even though it's designed specifically to be like a reverse draw cut. It's just a funky, really different knife, and it's the ball bearing lock like a Manix 2. It's weird. It's also the only knife I've ever gotten where it has a wire clip, but it's not a deep carry wire clip. It's just, it like doesn't loop over. So I don't know. It's really funky, even for Spyderco. The shape of the handle with these 2 cutouts, and it's like,
But if
it
it's
shocks me how nice it is in hand for how shaped it is.
But if it's a reverse grip knife, right, and it's a self-defense knife, you don't technically want a deep carry clip, right? Because you want to be able to grab the edge of that knife real quick to pull it out of your pocket as fast as possible. No?
Yep.
I hear that argument. I've never had any easier time pulling a knife out of my pocket the way I grab a knife, by having some of it stick out of the pocket. That's just not where I grab a knife. I pass my thumb down the inside scale, and then I grab under the clip and I pull that way. That's just the way my muscle memory handles it.
Yeah, but you're also the guy who can do the ninja flippy thing with your knives.
True.
Show the ninja
If it's
flippy thing. Look at this guy.
Every time you do that, I just think stitches. Oh.
But specifically, if it's a defensive knife, that's the knife I'd most want to be deep carry, because this thing is like the most assassin-y looking knife ever. And so I don't know. I just feel like deep carry would actually, to me, suit this knife better. But
Is that a
it takes the
loaner,
same...
or is that
No,
yours?
I bought it.
You bought it?
I did a partial trade, partial sale, so I kind of bought it. But yeah, it's mine.
That's cool.
I got it thinking I'd probably experience it and then flip it, and now I kind of like it enough that I'm not sure I'm gonna flip it. But so that one's interesting. I just opened that a couple days ago, and then yesterday or the day before I opened this. This is the TRM fixed blade, which they just discontinued, and they were just the last few they posted on Instagram the other day, saying they were putting them on sale. It was like 10 or 15 bucks off, and they were throwing in one of their, I think I have it here actually. It's like a storage tube thing made out of sugar cane that I guess they're making there now.
Oh yeah.
And they like ratchet and then they lock. And so they were like, they made it a discount and they were throwing stuff in, and I just love TRM. So I figured I better jump before these are gone, and then if I ever want to experience it in the future, I'd be paying inflated secondary prices, and I didn't want to do that. So I just picked it up, and it's really well made. Knowing TRM, I assumed it would be, but it's cool. It's a fun little, not even little, it's like a mid-size fixed blade, I guess I'd call it. I think it's like a 5-inch blade-ish, 4.5. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a beautiful recurve.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. So yeah, it's just that and the call for these last 2 weeks, although I've got a bunch of stuff in the mail, so next time we film, I'm sure you'll see plenty more.
Sweet. Anybody else? Anything?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Today's main topic is...
Oh boy. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't pick one today.
shit. I was like, damn, Alex has a topic for us and everything.
Dude, I've been late lately, man. I usually have all this stuff late.
Ooh, I have one more new thing I forgot to show you guys.
All right, bring it out. Let's go.
Well, one of you figures out what our topic for today is.
Or is it one of those you should only bring out in the woods with me?
This. I told you guys that this was coming. This is my Danger Pickle Gang bottle opener.
Yeah, I
from
saw that.
Birch Tree Blades.
I saw
How
that.
dope is that?
That is
So-
awesome.
I found out currently he's made 4 of them because he cuts them in pairs and he made a backup set in case they didn't go right, and I think they all went right. So I know he's going to do an Instagram giveaway soon on one of them, and I don't know what his plans are for the rest of them, but super cool of him to just send me one of these because I'm the guy who called it the Danger Pickle first. super, super awesome that
That is
now
awesome.
I have a custom titanium Birch Tree Blades bottle opener.
Yeah, now you need to get yourself in for a custom birch tree.
I would love that. Hopefully, one of these days.
He makes
I'll
nice
sell a
stuff.
bunch of stuff.
Very cool. Well, so I think the most appropriate topic, since nobody's saying anything right now, is going to have to be knife confessions from all of you. We're going to have to get knife confessions from every single one of you.
Oh boy.
Because the knife whisperer is here, and the knife whisperer loves you.
He does.
So let's give him some confessions. We'll start off like that.
I'm here for you, boys.
Paul wants to know
Like-
our most regretted knives.
Oh,
The
good
most
question.
regretted knives.
Yep.
That's a good,
Good
question.
question. That's a great question.
Regretted or just disappointed?
I think that's kind of the same thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like you bought it and it's shit.
Yep.
Or you bought it, it's not shit, but it really let you down because it's not exactly what you expected.
I got one.
Go for it.
The ZT0609. The RJ Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
yes. The one with the hollow pivot, right?
What's that? Yeah, with the hollow pivot. I love the look of that knife, but as soon as I had it in my hand, I wasn't a fan of the action. The one I got wasn't very sharp. It just it was probably actually more of a quality control thing actually, because it was very off center too, and just I don't know. I just had an overall like nasty experience with that. I don't know.
The
And,
one I had was great.
Yeah.
It's not
And-
often
and-
you hear a bad story about a ZT as far as like the fit and finish, but I've heard a couple.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the look of it, and when I got it, just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to love it.
Yeah. What about you, Tom?
One comes to mind.
He's like,
Well,
I got so many.
two come to mind, but we'll leave one out because we've mentioned it enough times here on the podcast.
Oh, you mean the Hinder?
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, here we go.
No, the one that I think really disappointed me was the Alliance Designs USD Jasmine.
Okay.
It was garbage. It looked so good, like they had like the nice 3D contoured scale version. And I grabbed that, but then they didn't chamfer any of the corners. So even though it was 3D scales, like the corners just cut into your hands. Had terrible lock stick. Had I don't know if there's an official term for it, but you guys ever heard the term detent lash?
Yes.
It had that. And what was the one killer on it? I forget. I think it was the
Isn't-
Ergos, honestly.
Isn't detent lash when you have a little blade wiggle when it's closed,
Yes.
right?
Well, it's that, and then it had pivot lash too. So when it was open, I could take it like this and push and back and forth, and you can hear it clicking because like the pivot was like size too small for the hole that was in the blade.
Wow.
So
Weird. That's
now,
funny because one of my least favorite knife experiences was also in Alliance Designs, but it was the CMF, which is funny because
Yeah.
the design of that CMF knife I, to this day, aesthetically love. And the knife ergonomically even was really good, except for the pocket clip. Because every corner of the pocket clip was like not just unpleasant, but like actually sharp. And it was a bummer to have in pocket because if my hand brushed up against it, it hurt in hand. It was like totally ruined an otherwise awesome knife with good ergos, good action,
Yeah.
good looks. Like, yeah, that was a
I
bummer.
really wanted to like that USD Jasmine. Like, it had that nasty hollow grind on it, and it stayed like 15 thousandths, like this far up the blade. It was stupid how thin it stayed. I was like, that thing's gonna be perfect. And then I started playing with it, and I found all these issues with it. Now I gotta say their customer service is awesome. Their communication was quick and everything. They let me return it for a full refund. But I haven't bought an Alliance design since then. Although they do have good designs. I do like a lot of the stuff that they put out.
I had never bought an Alliance design because I always thought it was going to be like a very cool design knife, but I was always a little shaky about the way the constructions and materials look personally.
So,
Like every time I look at them, like the Bangarang, right?
Yeah.
The Christensen design, I like that knife a lot. I think it looks awesome. But every time I look at it, for some reason, something about that knife, or most of them, really like just there's something that looks off about them.
what bothers me is that they won't outright say who makes it for them.
Okay.
And like a lot of people think it's Riot, and I think Riot does certain things for them, but I also think they get a lot of parts made from other manufacturers over there. So maybe they can't say what their who makes them for them because it's a mixture of people.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
blade,
we talked about this before.
yeah,
I
like the
remember.
grinds are definitely Riot. Like the blade grinds are definitely Riot. But it seems like they're having like maybe hardware made somewhere else, scales made somewhere else, and then they all get shipped to one place and all put together. And I don't know. It bothers me.
Knife problems,
Knife problems.
knife confessions,
Confession.
confession.
Get them off your chest, boys. You feel better.
I think Tom's knife confession is he's secretly in love with Rick Hinderer.
Rick, as a person, cool guy. Knives, not a fan. Cool-ish, I should say.
So cool.
I wish I liked them more.
So you're telling me this non-choil Warncliffe does nothing for you?
Dude, I love the designs. They just have too many issues for me to like them.
This has 0 issues.
No. The design itself is very aesthetically pleasing. The flipper tab, hate it. The jimping that you land on when you use the flipper tab, hate it.
So I agree with you. Only on the 3-inch.
I on all of them.
On this, I literally like don't have the defense nice and crisp, but I barely have to do anything, so it doesn't even hurt my finger. You saw I didn't even light switch it. I push button.
Yeah.
It just, you know,
I've just never liked that weird little hook on the flipper tab.
this little thing,
Yeah.
that little thing right there.
If you just made it like squared off a little bit, I think it'd be better.
I would like it better too without that. I agree.
Yeah. Now, if he fixes his tri-way pivot issues, I might jump back on him.
Just leave the bearings in, man. They're
Yeah.
fine.
No, here we go again. It's not fine because the bearings are running on plain titanium on one side. And it just digs in. It depends if you have a skinny or not.
I don't have a skinny anymore. I sold my skinny for this non-choil.
On the lock side, the bearings are running on straight titanium. And
I remembered a steel insert.
unless they've changed it since I had mine, but mine was just running on plain titanium, and if you crank down that pivot just a little bit too far, it leaves depressions in that titanium. And it was already wearing a track in the titanium to begin with.
So you just buy one like this, leave it alone, don't do anything to it, and it's beautiful.
I don't like bearings. I'd rather have washers.
This knife is definitely designed for bearings, most definitely.
With the tri-way, yeah.
Yeah, this tri-way version, it's a bearing knife. I tried on my skinny. I tried all the other two. I mean, the washers were okay, but it wasn't a fun knife to flip.
But
It
like,
flipped fine, but it wasn't. I didn't even try the Teflon.
that's like
But
that was my issue with the whole tri-way thing. Why tell me I can use 3 pivot system when it only works correctly on 1?
well, and he told me not to do this, but I did it anyways. Or it says not to do this, but I used a brass liner
Mm-hmm.
against my bearings.
Yeah.
And if it wears out, I don't care because I got the factory titanium one in there anyways.
Yes.
And I rotate these knives like once every couple months. So who cares, right?
Yeah.
I know there's so many guys out there that like Hinder, and I hate bashing on them because it's been a year and a half of me every time it getting brought up of me trying to bite my tongue until someone baits me into talking about it.
I actually ended up buying one in each size. So my pickle with Hinder knives wasn't the knife itself. It was the company. I had an issue a little bit with the customer service and how much they charge for all their accessories. That was my main issue. The knife itself was fine. As a matter of fact, when I sent the knife out and got it back, it came back perfect. I haven't had to take it apart, do anything to it since. So, so they did the work right the second time around. But again, everything costs money. You have a warranty problem with the knife, and you have to not only pay to send it, but you have to pay them to send it back to you.
See, that part's dumb.
That like was one of the things that put me over the top.
That's a matter of principle there. I mean,
And then my knife had a warranty issue because the detent was so stiff you couldn't even use the flipper to open it. So then they had to fix that, and then they also had the center of the blade, and ended up being that with that, because I bought some accessories from them, and I asked them to put them on, right? And they charged me, even though they had to take the knife apart for warranty work, they still charged me to put on those parts. I'm like, you're joking, right? Like you're kidding me right now, right? No, there's another $15 fee for that. So I didn't say anything. I just paid the $15 because I figured, what the hell, you got it apart anyways.
Right. Yeah.
But man, did that make me mad. I'm like, I didn't ask you to do something for me. I asked you to fix the problem, And I spent money on your extra parts and said, while you have it apart, since it's no additional work, can you just put this freaking carbon fiber scale on it, right? What, $15, really?
It's stupid.
When you had a problem with your knife, it's like, treat your customers just a little bit better than that. It's like, you know what, man? I'm sorry you spent $425 on the knife and it had a problem. Oh, you want to buy a $100 carbon fiber scale from me? No sweat. Let me put it on for you. That's what it should have been.
yeah.
I don't know.
And I'll give the scale for $50.
Right. Well, no, the Hinderer scales, carbon fiber, are $100, and that's what I paid them for it.
Yeah, I know, but you should have gotten it. You shouldn't have gotten a deal on it.
Well, I didn't even care about having a deal on the part. Just to pop it on. You already have the knife apart. Pop it on. Just put the scale on. It's freaking 3 screws, 4 screws. So, yeah, no, not even that. So, that was my issue with the Hinderers, not the knives themselves. I think the knives are great. I actually don't think I've ever seen a steel testing video on Hinderers. I'm sure Steve's probably done some. I haven't seen some yet.
I was gonna do one on mine, but I got too pissed off with it before I sold it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to check Hinderer M390? You want to do mine?
I could.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty solid, honestly.
Yeah.
I wasn't upset.
I'll say all the ones that have been tested well.
Okay. That's good. Do they do in-house heat
That's
treat?
what I was just gonna say.
That I don't know.
That would be interesting to know.
I wonder. I almost feel like they send it out.
I would feel the same way, just because of the size of the production,
Yeah.
right?
I
But
want to say I heard Peters did it, but I don't know. Maybe not.
that would make sense. That's for sure.
Because if Peters
I think-
does it, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
I think I heard Metal Complex say that in one of his videos. I don't know.
Because I think their claimed spec is 60 to 61. I'm pretty sure on their M390, and that's like the max heat or Peters will do is like 61. I think maybe it's 62.
I know Kenny's M390 skinny slicer is like 60, almost 61 and a half.
Oh, really? Damn, he got one up and out of spec then. He might have to send it in for some warranty work. New blade.
Yeah, heat treat was too good.
Yep.
Yeah, remember though, just because it tests hard doesn't mean it's gonna
True.
do good.
True. That is absolutely true. Who else has the knife that they regret?
Ooh, if I go to my closet, I can even show you guys. It'll be fun. Let me grab it.
Go to the knife box.
Anytime I've bought a knife that I didn't like, I get rid of it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got a Spyderco Positron, got rid of that real quick because I didn't like it at all.
Those are garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, the
Yeah,
clip,
it's been-
the biggest issue with that knife, forget about that the action isn't good. The clip, just no matter how you hold it on the positron, digs into your hand.
Yeah, there wasn't really a thing about that knife that I liked. I guess the scales were like finished well on the carbon one, and it had a decent finish on the blade. But I don't know. I got one for cheap, and I let it go for just as cheap because I was like, this is not working for me.
You have to turn up your volume a little bit, Jake. I don't know about you guys, but I can kind of barely hear him.
Yeah, a little bit more quiet than us.
So here's my biggest regret, guys. What's in this little pouch right here. So I bought this from a custom maker in Italy. So he made some really good looking slip joints that are all handmade. No machines, no nothing. It's literally like he works by hand and has these old school files where he files out the bevels and stuff like that. So I had a few pretty good looking ones. So I said, hey, let's make a fancy one. So he said, okay, fine. So we decided on a Damas steel blade, and then we were gonna do. He does a lot of horn, so I said, let's do giraffe bone, right? Like horn, giraffe bone should be pretty similar to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, okay, I'll order you some giraffe bone. So this is what I ended up paying. I paid $200 for it, all right? Which is not a whole expensive knife, but it's very simple and primitive and built. Again, not only that, when I got it, it's terrible. At first, I told him I'm not going to review this. This is not reviewable. But now I think I am, because every time I take it out, I get even more mad. So this is the slip joint right here. It's a very old, classic Italian style.
Yep.
Very, very classy. So I like these things. They're very, unique looking. So as far as the back spring on it, let me see if I can get that in view. Back spring works very nicely. It's got kind of a muddy half stop. It's not really a half stop, so that's not a big deal to me. Snaps closed very nicely. Lockup is really nice. So the spring he did well. The pivot, I don't know what he used, because he didn't use these on his other knives, but it almost looks like it's a pivot for like a tactical folding knife.
Yeah.
Like some kind of weird bolt that doesn't belong in there. Right? So that is not what I got upset over, but that's ugly.
Looks like a Kershaw pivot.
Yeah. Yeah.
He took a Natrix apart, So the next thing that I started to look at is after about a week, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but there's actually one of these side scales, the stainless steel portion,
Mm-hmm.
that's separating from the blade. So this knife is falling apart. It's pinned right here. It's got 3 pins on this giraffe bone. This is going to be really hard to see. Probably won't come up. But there is a beautiful crack on that middle pin right here that goes almost to the other pin. So when he peened them and when he went over the grinder, he ended up cracking the giraffe bone. Now here's the part, after all that bullshit, it's not even at the worst yet. Let me show you what happens when you close the knife. So you close the knife, and you hear that click?
Yeah.
That's the edge hitting the back of the knife. There's no
Oh.
stop.
Oh my god.
Not only that, but watch this. This is the fun part.
Oh.
That's the edge rubbing on the back of the knife.
You know what that is?
Look
That's
at
your
the
custom strop right there.
Look at the wiggle up. Look at that.
Jesus.
Disgusting.
Oh,
That-
man.
That's my biggest regret, guys.
Good lord.
Understandable.
That's a good one, right?
That is a very good one.
That's M-Tech right there.
So since it's coming apart and everything, I think before I review it, I'm going to reach out to him one more time and see if he wants to fix it.
Give him a chance to redeem himself.
Yep. Because I haven't said his name. I'm not going to.
Well,
I'm going to give him that one chance.
Is it Lion Steel?
No. I
you're doing
reached out to him and I told him this thing has major problems, and he never replied. So that's why I'm going to give him one more shot. If he replies and fixes it, I'm good. That means I'm going to have to ship this thing back to Italy.
Well, maybe he knew it had problems, and that's why I never got back to you.
Of course he knew he had problems. Who makes a knife like this, ships it out, and not know? Right? There's no way. The first problem was the crack in the scale. That's the first place my eye went, because I'm looking at the pins. And then I open and close it, and I notice the blade snaps into the knife, into the back spring, and it's so loose in the pivot, you could literally like grind your own bevel.
oh,
Yeah. It was worth getting it out of the knife box, honestly. It was. Who's next?
yeah. Can't compete with.
Anyone else?
Biggest
have?
knife regret. Jake. Go.
I already
Giant
told you
mouse.
there was. Yeah, so if you've watched my reviews of the giant mouse, the Grand, every giant mouse I had before that had either an issue or I just didn't like it. So I had a GM2, and the GM2 was excellent, except the detent was just way too light. Like for that knife being a flipper, it was like I had to give it wrist to get it to deploy, which on a flipper is like the cardinal sin for me, especially an expensive, really nice flipper like that. And then I got a Biblio, and I had it out of the box for like 10 minutes, and the same thing, the detent was just way too light for it being a flipper. Both of those knives, I think if I'd ground off the flipper tab, I would have liked them because they were good otherwise, but the action for being a flipper was just bad. And then I got an Iona, and I had that out of the box for maybe 5 minutes. I ordered it from Blade HQ, and I just immediately was like, I don't like this at all. I got it thinking, oh cool, it's like bug out size and weight with M390 and a wire clip, and then I got it out of the box. I didn't like the ergos. I hated how hard it was to get to the lock bar, and it was just not good. But the Grand is fantastic, and to Giant Mouse's credit too, the guys over there, I don't know who runs their social media, but whoever does is really cool. They've watched all my recent videos, and they're sending me a new Biblio because supposedly they're on batch 3 now, and they say they're going to be a lot better. So they asked me for my address. They're shooting me one to check out, which is way
Sweet.
cool of them. Like as a company, I like their designs. I like the guys behind it. I think they're doing cool stuff. It's just been less than favorable for those first couple. But if the new Biblios are as good as the Grand, then I'll love that Biblio because I like the design and I like the materials. But Yeah. The
Yeah, I
That's what I
think maybe
have.
some of their stuff shouldn't be flippers though, because I had a Nimbus loaner,
Mhm.
and that had like a perfect detent. All it has is an opening hole.
Right. That's the way the Grand is, and the Grand is fantastic. But I can feel already, like the Biblio also has a hole in addition, and so did the GM2. And
Yeah.
both of those, they weren't as crisp as the Grand is now, even without using the flipper on those. This for like middle finger flicking is better than either of those were. So I'm hoping if their new detents are like this, then even with the flipper, I think this one would be sufficient in terms of how much pressure you have to build up to get it to break. But the other ones were they were way too mushy for it.
And that's an Italian giant mouse, right?
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the Reat made ones yet. I'd like to, because I know they did the Sonoma was Reat made, and then I think wasn't their newest the GM6, the integral one.
That was
They had
cool.
Reat make
Okay.
that one. They
That
keep
was
teasing
beautiful.
pictures of another knife coming out that looks like it's titanium and micarta, if my eyes don't deceive me. And I'm curious to see who makes that one and what it's going to look like. Because if like the Grand has been one of my favorite knives I've gotten this year, I really really like it, especially for the money. LMAX is a great steal in my opinion. I love micarta, so it's like kind of a home run knife on this one. I just hope that if they can keep up this steam, then I'll be one of those guys who's posting a lot of pictures on Instagram of giant mouse knives.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I've had one experience with Italian LMAX from Lion Steel. It was really good for me. It was on the little Lion Spy. I still have that knife. I like that knife.
Yeah, my only other LMAX knife has been my ZTO 620, and then I think I have a fixed blade in LMAX. But I've liked every LMAX knife I've tried, and I've heard good things too from most people who review it.
Very good. Gerald, I know you live in a world full of regrets when it comes to knives.
The funny thing is because my buddy Josh got so much stuff over a couple year period, like there's a ton of stuff I didn't buy because I got to check it out and I already knew that it just wasn't going to happen. Probably of stuff that I still have, about the only thing I have would be the shaman.
Oh, you still have a shaman?
I have two of them.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
love my shaman.
I'm actually thinking about buying another one. I flipped my M4 a while ago. So I might be on the lookout for one later.
Yeah, no, I will say the wooden scaled Rex 45 feels much better than the G10 ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. At some point, I need to carry one how it is and then put a set of scales on it and see if I actually like it.
Well, you know that guy who makes a lot of custom scales for Spyderco, Aramis,
Mm-hmm.
the one that made those contoured scales on my PM2 and my military.
Yeah, he has like a total handle reshape
Yes,
that looks nice.
so I saw that, and that's what made me want another shaman, because I like the way he does those. They're all contoured and rounded. It looks pretty cool.
His shaman scales look like the PM2 Grand scales, kind of.
Right.
Except he puts notches for extra texture. Like there's
Right.
passes that go this way. They look really wild.
Aren't his scales the best, man? They make that PM2 so comfortable.
This is the first one I'm trying. It's a loaner, and I love it.
Dr. Frunky has some pictures of those scales on his Instagram.
Yep.
They're nice.
Yeah, I have my military has fat carbon ones, and my other one's got his Grand Line carbon fiber. It's like a marble and copper dust carbon fiber or something like that. He does some really cool stuff. I like that guy's work a lot. and they fit perfect. I've had 3 of his scales, and every single one of them were like flawless.
He's quick too. From everybody I've talked to who's ordered
Oh, yeah.
from him, he ships the stuff in like
Within
10
2
days.
weeks.
It takes forever for it to get out through customs and all that, but at least he's on his end. He's cranking them out fast and sending them, and then people aren't waiting forever because there's scale makers who I'm not going to name names particularly, but there's scale makers here in the U.S. who you order something and they've got a wait period that's 6 months plus for a set of scales.
Dude, yeah, I'm not gonna name who it is. My buddy's waiting 10 months right now for a set of bug out scales from somebody everybody knows.
I think
I
I
only
know
buy
what it
scales
is.
at this point if they're ready to ship, and like this, they're ready because I just don't have the patience for waiting.
You said bug out. I think I know who it is. Is it Rogue?
No, actually, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
I bet I know who it is.
I
You said
bet
he's
we
pretty
all
well
know who
known,
it
so.
is.
And I've had experiences from one of the more well-known guys that took forever and kept giving me constant excuses of why he couldn't have scales for me.
Eric?
It's Eric. Eric really beat around the bush with me. He pissed me off.
Oh, he's made a few people upset. I've had a lot of stuff done with Eric too. I still own one of his set of scales, those Python micarta ones on my Para 3.
Yeah.
He does do good work though.
I have some
Like-
here on a loaner, and they're gorgeous. Like
There you go.
phenomenal.
Totally Eric's work.
Listen,
His hand
wa-
finishing is
once I got the scale
ridiculous.
in, fantastic. But getting him to get that scale to me is what took forever.
I know.
My
know,
dog's
Eric.
sick. My sister's sick. I just don't feel well. It was just excuse after excuse.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
my
When I finally
my-
threatened to cancel my order, that's when my order got here a week later. So
I know he had my Spyderco Tough. I think he had for like 5 months,
ugh.
just hanging on to it. But then he made up for it by making me a free gear pattern backspacer for it too. So I was like, that's fine then. I forgive you. Eric. But man, he's definitely very skillful.
Oh yeah, he's very good at what he does.
But I'm definitely gonna do a shaman with those air mist scales. I don't want an S30 shaman. I want something else. Anything but S30.
That Z-Wear that's coming out, Alex.
A what?
There's this
Z-Wear one.
with micarta.
A zebra micarta?
No, the Z-Wear
Z-Wear.
Shaman.
Z-Wear. Sorry, I think I'll mumble.
Yeah, let's just hope it's not soft like the crew wear my Carter Shaman was.
Yep.
Is Z-Wear one of those nitrogen steels?
No,
No, it is basically Zap's version of crew wear.
just different company.
Oh, it
makes
is. So it's Crewwear.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was. I couldn't remember if it was similar to Nitro V or something else.
No, you're thinking of Z-Finite. That's like
Oh, yeah, that's
LC200N.
what I'm thinking of. Z-Finite. That stuff's cool.
Yeah, it's Zap's version LC200N.
Yeah. Which then in turn.
Which I think Zap
make-
does make LC200N. I think that was the old name for it.
I think it was out before LC200N.
Yeah.
And then Gapco puts his on a knife and then charges a lot.
I hope they do a River's Edge cutlery version, with the
Of a
like
shaman.
they did with the Para 3.
Yeah.
The PM2, they're just waiting on the PVD. Spyderco has sent it back like 3 times to whoever's doing the PVD coating on the blades, and it keeps not passing QC. So they're just waiting for that to finally get done, and then that PM2 will be out.
It seems like that PVD stuff is pretty finicky.
Yeah.
The Para 3s were awesome,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's just who Spyderco's going to for that PVD, because I know some companies use PVD a lot and consistently and seem to have it down. Maybe it's because it's a newer coating for Spyderco. They don't use it much. But
That and not maybe the color plays a difference, possibly.
Well, PVD is a very generalized term because there's a lot of different manufacturers of different components to PVD.
Yeah.
true.
So, like, Microtech's PVD is going to be a lot better, for example, than, like, a lot of other people's. Like, certain manufacturers make really good, strong stuff, and others, it's not even real PVD. They just call it that, but it's some other sort of, like, coating.
Same thing with DLC. You get a big variance in quality of DLC coatings depending on.
Yeah, not many people use real DLC.
Right.
I mean, that stuff's expensive.
The legit DLC, Microtech does use. That's how they get those mirror DLC polished knives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
whatever
remember
Cold Steel uses on their newer stuff is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a company that's really doing well that I would have never thought was doing so well at this. If you would have told me Cold Steel's doing this good back in like 2015, I would have never believed you. But they made a really good comeback with some of those models that they have now. I mean, some of them have always been good, right? Like the Recon and some of those models. But I really like what they did with the crisp blades and some of the new cool stuff
They're
they
killing
did.
it.
Huh?
They're killing it.
Totally.
You can't beat their prices for what you get.
No way. And you pay $75 and you can get either S35VN or what? That's what they're using now, right?
Yeah.
S35.
It used to be
Yeah,
XHP.
that's what comes on like the code.
Yeah, I'm
formulas.
sad they don't use that XHP anymore.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, you get a triad lock, S35VN. You know, not
Find them on
Chinese
sale
made,
for $50.
Taiwan made.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I think they're good value, and they're indestructible.
I just wish
The only-
they made more designs I liked.
Yeah.
The only other thing coming out that's better, like for the prices, is Tucson's. You know, you guys ever had a Tucson?
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Oh.
interested in them, but I keep hearing fantastic things about them.
Dude, they're
built
really
hard.
taking off.
They really are. I noticed that.
They're put
Yeah,
together just
I got to
for the-
send you the one I have to check out, Alex. I can't remember what number it is. It said kind of like curved Warncliffe katana looking blade. It's got contoured milled titanium handles, titanium clip, and it's like $60.
Yeah, and that fit and finish is amazing.
Yeah, the action's really good. The fit and finish is great. It's 12C27. It's just look. Some of their designs are out there, and I get that, but they have a lot of designs too that are they're really nice.
The TX 191 is amazing. That's probably the best looking one.
I don't mean to be that guy, but my only holdback with Tucson has always been their logo and their name, because the first time I saw them on Amazon, and it was like Tucson, and I got that. I can't stand their logo. I think it looks trashy, and they put it big on everything. And so in my head, they were like a cheap Chinese cloney sell on Amazon type of company. But now I see so many good things about them that I'm curious. I've had this like distaste for the branding ever since I first saw them, and I've never given them a shot.
They're doing kind of like what Sabibi's doing. They're getting rid of all their logos now. So
Well, and Tuya Knives is doing the same thing. They're doing pretty good, right?
Tuya's pretty good. Yep. They
I mean-
made that Olani goat or whatever. Everybody loved. Tuya made that.
I mean, even Jim Skelton has a couple Tuyas. He had the Hive and
I want the
I
Hive.
forgot what yeah. And he raved about it. He's like, I carry this thing all the time.
Yeah,
Like-
that's one I really want to get.
I'm like, is that a Tuya? And he proudly says yes. Because me and Jim talk once in a while on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If Jim likes it. It's probably pretty well made.
They're pretty solid.
Stick
Yeah.
them.
Picky bastard.
The multi-row ceramic barons in those too.
Yeah. I mean, they're not stuff I'm buying right now, but I'm actually kind of interested just because I see like them coming up, and these knife companies, they're not living off of hype because what Jake's impression of Two Sun knives is, mine's actually pretty much identical, is from years ago, like when they first started out, and I haven't paid attention to them since, so I haven't really seen their escalation, but lately in Facebook and everywhere else, I've been seeing a lot of people really raving about them. So, but their prices are going up too. I've noticed. I think a little bit.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you get.
Right.
They have inexpensive all the way to expensive. I mean, it really just depends.
The TS 191 I was telling you about is full titanium, carbon fiber, S90V, and like I said, the fit and finish is perfect. If you get one of those, for $150.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Knife for
But if I had $150, would I be looking at a Two Sun?
Check
See,
out
That's my problem. I'm with Jake. He's shaking his head like, no way.
Nope.
See, if years ago when I first saw them, if their branding was better and I saw that like value equation, I would have jumped then and there. But now because like I've grown to find more different preferences and I've tried so many other things that are more than that and less than that, like I don't have any. They're just so uninteresting to me because the image that's rooted in my head of them is not the most positive. But that's not fair to them. I'm just trying to make a knife confession here.
At least he's being honest, right?
Hey, Jake, remember, beauty's only a light switch away.
There you go. It's a paper bag over the head kind of knife.
Good times.
My knife confession is that sometimes I have knives in my cart that sit in there for months. And they're knives I know I don't want to keep, I don't want to buy it. But on a night when I get lonely and bored, I will get on my phone and I will click buy now. On knives that I don't even want.
Ooh, you're in deep, buddy.
That's my knife confession.
Oh, you're in deep.
Now, on the flip side of that is, they're knives that I may want to buy because I don't want to keep them, but because I want to review them, right? And then I'll flip it or something like that. But I have so much crap that it's like, at this point, why am I buying anything?
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I have 150 videos plus in my cabinet right now I haven't even touched, you know? And then people are nice and sending me a couple things. I have 2 of Dirk's knives I got to do. I'm going to film my video on that knife that I got from Jake, the prototype for the, what do they call it? The Ingress?
Ingress?
Yeah. So I'm going to film that video tonight. That knife is fucking killer. I love it.
You like it?
I love it, man. I'm sold. I don't even care it's made by we. I don't care about anything else. I'll take everything else, all my prejudices about knives aside, because that knife is so comfortable, so good, action, everything. It's not a knife I would carry every day, to tell you the truth, but I would love to have it in my collection.
And the dude that designed it, you just want to help him.
Yeah, Nick
Well,
is awesome.
That too. I really like the guy, and I'm all about, that kind of like pushing one of us to get into the manufacturing knife community is a big thing.
Good guy, hard worker, he deserves it.
Absolutely. But that aside, the knife itself is really good. I mean, you guys will see, like, I didn't do any kind of crazy cut test, but I blew through an apple, and I cut an apple. I did a cut test with like a plastic bottle just to kind of like slice it open. I mean, you'll see it's like I'm cutting butter. I cut a little bit of cardboard just to slice it around, because obviously it's not my knife. I don't want to beat the shit out of it. It's a prototype. But he said, I want you to cut stuff. Like, he's like, you don't have to do cut tests, but I want you to cut with it to see what it does. I said, okay, fine.
Yep.
So I cut a few things with it on video, and that's the only cut test I did with it. I didn't do any on my own. I just filmed what I cut with it, and then I got to make sure I clean it and oil it before I give it back to him. I already cleaned it, but I haven't oiled it yet.
Yeah, I was really lucky when I picked that knife up from him. I met him in person to get it,
Right.
because he's down here, and I was really just impressed with what a cool, genuine, nice dude he was. And it was like, even if you remove him from the knife or the knife from him, I like them each individually. So
Right.
that they both, so that when you put them together, it's like, how could I not get in on that pre-order? Because I like the knife enough that even if I hadn't met the guy, I'd have been sold. But having met him and had a conversation with him, he's like a knife guy like any of us are. And it's cool to see somebody who's an enthusiast and appreciates what we appreciate in knives, who's just getting started out and making them,
He's got a great story too, Just a couple of guys on an Instagram chat start talking about what they're looking for in an ADC knife, and he decides he wants to make it happen. Gets with manufacturers, designers, gets prototypes made. That's a lot of work.
It's a hustler. It's awesome.
Well, and this is somebody who's like us, who knows knives, but when you get down to making a knife, that's a whole different ball game. Like, all of a sudden you don't know shit. Like, they're asking you schematics, where do you want to place your pivot at, what kind of angle, deployment, all this stuff. Like, dude, it's crazy. So that's one thing that I really like about him, is he's very knowledgeable, and it took a lot of work to get to where he got. So yeah,
Definitely.
Oh.
So anything else, gents, today? Any more confessions?
I got nothing.
Yeah, look, I have a pretty good one.
All right.
I'm sure we all have knives we really like. So then you're like, shit, I need to have a double of that.
Oh yeah.
Just in case I lose this one, I break that one. And that turns into, I can't tell you how many knives I have doubles of.
Yeah.
Then it goes to somehow, and I've sold some. I only have like 6 PM2s right now. I think I sold like 3 or 4 of them the past year. I've got 7 pair of 3s. I have 24 Manix 2s.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
I have one knife I have doubles of. One.
Yeah, that's your Maximate native, right?
My Maximate natives. That's it. I mean, I got 3 Manixes, but they're not all the same. They're all different.
It's still a double, though.
Yeah. And then I guess I got 2 Osbornes. Fuck, I got doubles of a lot, I guess. When you consider how many knives I got, I have a lot of doubles for what I have.
I actually don't think I have any doubles of anything. I used to have like 6 or 7 PM2s though.
I got 2
I have one
PM2s.
PM2.
Fuck.
I've got 1 PM2, and it's the River's Edge Cutlery Scorpion PM2 and 10B.
Same.
When they come out with their next one, I'll have that one too, because A, I've wanted it for forever, and because I love River's Edge Cutlery, so I want to have both. And that'll be my only knife I have doubles of, because everything else, like, I just buy, sell, and trade so much to try new stuff anyways, that I find it really hard to justify having 2 of a knife, because I'd rather use that money for a different knife I haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that. I actually need to get back to what I really used to do, which was I would look at stuff and buy things that I normally wouldn't buy.
Just for the sake of having some variety.
Well, to see if I liked it, to see if it was just to see if my taste had changed.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like, probably 3/4 of all the stuff I bought that I didn't think I was going to like, ended up liking.
That's what this re-op is something that I normally wouldn't, but I just kind of wanted to try it and check it out.
Yeah, I just bought last month. I got a Spyderco Tenacious and a Spyderco Salt 2 because I'd never had a Chinese Spyderco or a Japanese Spyderco, and I'm like kind of a Spyderco fanboy, and so I just wanted to try. I didn't want a Delica, so I got the Salt because it made a better argument in my head for something that would make sense to have. But like every now and then, it's fun to get a knife that's just to experiment with and figure out whether you like something
Like a
that you didn't
Boker
know you
Mortem.
liked. There you go. You know you're gonna love that already.
I get bored with knives really quickly myself.
It was $31 shipped too.
Ooh.
I sent you a screenshot of mine. Wasn't mine cheaper than that?
When I saw that in the chat the one day, I've never been more disappointed in both of you.
I've had mine for like 2 years or something.
I don't even know what got over me that night. I got so excited. I'm like, okay, this is gonna make a perfect video. I'm doing it.
Dude,
I'm gonna-
yeah, mine was $21.95.
Yeah, I was gonna
$21.95.
say when they came out, they were cheap.
Yeah, I paid $35 on that order because I also got a little Spyderco Dragonfly wooden knife kit for my daughter, and I paid $3 shipping, so I paid $35, and I got that Spyderco thing. So yeah, it was
I
$22
got hosed
for
by
mine.
Knife Center. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I guess so. You paid real cheater money.
You know what they say?
$31.
That's like a sore dick's tough to beat.
Jesus Christ. So I woke up that morning because I think I was asleep when you guys were messaging that, and I woke up that morning. I'm looking through the messages. I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? What did I miss last night?"
Yeah, Alex sends me a text and he's like, "Hey, what's that fake cheater knife you have? You want to help me find one?" And then I was out, so I was like, "Yeah, hold on." And then I get back home and I had to go through my old Blade HQ order history because I couldn't find it anywhere and I didn't know the name of it. And then I found where I bought it from, and then I just Google searched, sent him the Knife Center link, and he's like, "Done, buying it, gotta have it."
So what's funny is, so when I hit up Jake, about half an hour later, he texts me. He's like, okay, it's the Boker Mortem, right? Because I was trying to figure out what the name of the model was. And literally in that half hour, I spent half hour Googling Boker and heater, and nothing came up anywhere.
Right.
I'm like, how is this possible? It's like, I guess there's no like heater name on that knife or something like that. I don't know.
Oh no, it's not. They didn't actually collaborate with Heater. It's like a clone of a Heater.
How could they do that though?
I don't know. I really
So-
want to
so
spray
you're
paint
telling me
the handles
Heater-
of mine yellow.
Heater is
and
not
turn it into,
involved
like,
in
a
that
caterpillar
project?
knife. No, it was a whole thing when it came out.
Oh no shit. Even better.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and they don't have their name on it anywhere. What I'm mind blown over is that it's a 3.1 inch blade, 3 1/8 inch blade, and it weighs 7 ounces.
It's stupid heavy. The whole thing is just steel. I'm pretty
It's
sure the
got
blade
a,
is the
it's
same
got a
steel
big
as
old
the handles.
skull.
Are you sure that these scales aren't lead?
It might be.
It doesn't
so
matter,
rad.
Tom. It's got a big skull on it. It's rad.
It's the Avenged Sevenfold knife.
And it's gonna get stuck in a tree. And it's gonna, when I flip it open, I'm gonna feel like turning my hat sideways
Do it.
And
instantly.
it looks like they stamped the liners out and then the scales out and then never chamfer or fixed any of the stamping marks.
What's crazy is that when you put that knife in hand, it actually, at least for my hands, like ergonomically in a hammer grip, it's actually like stupid comfortable. But if you touch it in the wrong places, the edges are like really sharp. But if you're holding it like right where your grip should be, the finger grooves, at least for my fingers, are like perfectly placed. And I was like, oh, hold on, this actually feels really good in hand. But it's a sketchy, terrible knife.
Well, that's good though, because I want it to be comfortable when I stick it in a tree. I got to get a good grip, you know?
Yeah.
How are you gonna stick it in a tree? It's the whole front end of the fucking blade is just flat.
Dude, look it on YouTube, man. That one guy did it with his heater. I'm going to do it.
Ever yap at Heater Nation.
Don't yap at me. I bought the Mortem.
That is so ugly.
Alex, I genuinely think we should both take ours for our next like outdoor video, and we should do like a bushcraft competition using.
I was
that knife.
thinking batoning.
That would
Yeah,
be
sure.
perfect.
Yeah,
We'll
do that.
we'll have to each make a spear, and then we'll have to baton through wood.
I'm in.
And when I say spear, I mean lash the knife to a stick.
I can do it. I can do it.
And then you have to
Oh
go
my
hunt a
god,
beaver.
that thing is not gonna lock up after we're done with it.
No,
I'm
it
not sure it's
doesn't
gonna lock
appear
up
as
before you
bad.
even touch it.
I don't know.
It might not lock in general.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be done. You throw that one throw. That's it.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna lock to begin with. You might actually make it better by beating on it.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
We'll have a throwing competition. We'll throw them like tomahawks.
Not,
Pick a
well,
stone.
we should do like they have the knife competitions, right? Like those
The
guys with the
chopping
big crazy
competitions.
choppers. We should like set up a course.
I'm so down.
We should
The
set up.
bunker cheater course.
Make sure you wear your gloves,
Oh yes.
just in case.
Oh yeah. All right. That's enough of
I
that
can't wait for that
madness.
video.
It will happen. It will happen. Anything else, boys?
Going,
Today?
boys.
I don't think so.
We haven't heard a whole lot from Joe.
That's very true, Joe.
Yeah, when I was on as a guest, you guys had a whole bunch of questions for me. You guys haven't asked Joe anything.
All right.
Well, hammer away. I got to go in about like 15 minutes because I wake up at 3. So for me, that's a few hours away.
All right. So let's for the last 10 minutes, let's interview Joe and find out a little bit more about him. So first off, Joe, where can people find you?
People can find me at Knife Whisperer on YouTube. Instagram is Joe Frazier 101182, and that's about all I have.
Okay.
If you need to email me, it's Joe Frazier 101182 gmail.com, and there you have it. Or just do a little whisper. I'll hear you, like Jiminy Cricket on the shoulder.
So Joe, what style knives do you tend to go with? Like, are you a big knife kind of person? Are you smaller kind of knife, tactical folders, gentleman? What's your style?
I am a big tactical.
Okay.
Like I like a lot of like clip point blades, drop points. I try to stay around like I don't go any smaller than like 3 1/4 for blade length.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I like 3 3/3 is like a sweet spot for me.
Okay.
And it's got to be under 6 ounces though. I'm not a big fan of anything heavier than that.
Okay.
And as far as American, Chinese, I don't care. I buy them all.
Very good. Doesn't matter where it comes from. A good knife is a good knife, right?
No, exactly.
So very good. So as far as that's concerned, I know right now you're doing your knife confessions. You've done some tag videos with us, which did very well actually. Got a lot of fun doing them.
Yeah.
I haven't done your last one because I'm literally like 6 videos backed up right now. I got a prototype. I got to get back to niche design, and then I got 2 of Dirk's knives that I got to knock out that have been sitting here. So we'll try to get up to those tag videos as soon as we can.
That's fine.
But I like that. I like that you're getting involved with the community and stuff like that. And I think they're a lot of fun. Tag videos are always great stuff. It was definitely a good subject,
Yeah, it's a good way to try to get yourself out there too,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So.
And when I commit to something, I'm all in. So.
Okay. So how long have you been doing it now?
I think only about over a month, and I got like 31 videos.
You have 31 videos in a month?
Yeah,
So you're doing a video daily?
almost. Yeah. I'm a little over a month, I think.
That's the way to go.
Damn. I feel lazy. I haven't put out a video in over a month.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day since I started my channel.
That's impressive, Jake.
Yeah, Jake is just
He's a
killing
machine.
it.
Over 200 videos. Yeah.
But that works. I mean, look at Metal Complex, you know? When you have that consistent content, it keeps people looking for you, you know? And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, he grew fast.
Oh yeah, he grew fast. Dirk did pretty good. All of a sudden, he went from like 400 or 500 subs to like 1,600.
Yeah. Oh, and, well, Metal Complex
Metal
did that video
Complex.
for him. That was awesome.
Right, and then yeah, I mean, for me, like my thing's gonna be just doing co-op videos with other YouTubers. I think that'll be a good way to get exposure, and I think people will really enjoy seeing co-op. You see two styles put together. Sometimes it makes a very entertaining video.
Yeah, that video you and Jake did was really good.
Yeah,
It's a lot
absolutely.
of fun to do too. It's
And that was
fun
just a
to-
very kickback, like nonchalant, like no plan, no script, no nothing, just sit down, hang out kind of video. But I do
man, if I
plan
was in
to.
California, I'd be there.
But I do plan to do some scripted stuff. Advanced Knife Bro and I pretty soon. I've been mentioning we're going to be doing a project. And then me and Dirk are going to be working on a project pretty soon too. I got YouTuber collabs is going to be the thing for me. So I'm going to pop one of those out every once in a while. It's just going to be a regular thing. I'll
Well,
have to do one with Gerald and Tom too.
Hell yeah.
So
Well,
everybody's going to get a collab video.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down for
All
anything
right.
that you guys want.
I'll
so-
reach to you.
Yep.
A lot of these collab videos are going to require a lot of like people filming stuff and send it to me because I'm going to have to clip it and edit it all in the end.
Right.
Yep.
So, but yeah, when we get to it, I'll chat about that. I'm working on some techniques right now.
just
to make it
figure
look
out
like
big
two people.
profile.
What I'm trying to figure out is how to make you and I look like we're in the same room talking about a knife, yet you're in your state and I'm here in my state, right? Or in two different rooms.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'm trying to figure out not only just do like a simple Zoom like we're doing right now, but do something a little bit more creative where there's timing and objects passed over to the other guy and stuff like that. So
Nice. So you could almost have me there sitting on your lap or something.
yeah, but it's actually not happening though.
Oh, okay.
It's just a visual effect.
We need a good VR headset for that episode.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
My middle name is Awkward.
Yeah. So so tell us a little bit more, Joe. What are you going to do in the future here?
Well, I am kind of looking to do something similar to what you're doing. I gotta figure out YouTube and this whole editing thing a little bit better. I want to get a good background, something to hold my phone, so I don't have to sit in my car all the time. I gotta, I guess, invest some money into it. You know.
It's
So-
not really all that expensive when you get down to it. I don't think I spend much on my
It
setup.
depends how crazy you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you can get the same tripod I use. I can't tell you how many people have asked me where I got it. It's like $13-14 on Amazon.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
you could get a whole setup for like $50-$60, or you could spend well over $1,000 if you really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to get off my butt and do it. You know, I want to. I don't know. I just want to make the video quality a little better. You know.
Well, Tom's a really good example on how to make a really cool YouTube video with his macro shots and everything. Like, Tom's very organized, so I'd reach out to Tom and ask him some of his tricks because I really like the way his videos come out.
I
They're really
appreciate
sweet.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Tom can get hands on.
Well,
Well, come on, Tom doesn't have much hands to get hands on with, so
tiny hands on.
You're not gonna get much contact there.
I was waiting for it to come out, so I had to throw it in there.
That's
Uh,
good.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Hey, I'm just happy that the little hand jokes haven't been too bad this episode.
No.
There's still time.
Listen here, Jake. I control the stop button.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Oh, speaking of that, everybody needs to go check out and see. I don't even know what it's up to now. What the Tiny Hands Tom hashtag
I'll tell you
on
right
Instagram is. I've been tagging that for probably a year at least.
now.
I gotta go check that out before I go to bed.
Hashtag Tiny Hands Tom. 100 plus, it says.
Heyo.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's all you, Gerald.
A lot.
Oh no, there's a lot of other people in there too. If you really start looking.
I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon too.
Yeah, every one of my posts is Tiny Hands Tom.
I'm just gonna caption everything Tiny Hands Tom.
Hey, look, if you look, I tag Sharp Talk in every one of my pictures too. With a hashtag.
I should probably
Guys, if you're all listening out there, yes, Tom's hands are really tiny. It's not a joke.
Tom, you know what would look really big in your hands?
Oh, boy.
My knife.
Okay. I just counted 163, Gerald. 163.
So yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. First one was November 11th of last year.
Tom, you know what would look big in your hands? The knife whispers.
Mm-hmm.
Knife.
You mean the rabbit dick that we talked about at the beginning of the podcast?
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm gonna send
Yes.
Tom a lucky rabbit's foot now.
I'll never look at it the way it should be looked at, though, Jake. I'll always know.
Exactly.
Well, boys.
Do you have a favorite knife manufacturer or maker?
Currently, Riot.
It's hard to go wrong there.
No,
good for
I mean,
yourself more drawn to their internal stuff, or do you like the projects other people do with them? Or
to be honest with you, both. They're just. I like a lot of their in-house designs and their collabs. I mean, a lot. I just that and just like the feel of a Riot is just like it's awesome. You know, I don't know. They're hard to beat for the money.
they do excellent work.
You know, I mean, there's a reason why, you know, like Brian Nadeau uses them and all these big guys do, you know?
I agree with that. I've said that
Have you
before.
checked out the Orca made by
No,
Riot?
I haven't. I almost bought that knife.
Well, I'm going to
that's-
send it with the other stuff.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
That one's very impressive.
How much-
I felt that one.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good things about that one. I think I'm going to get the one on drop there, the Tashi Heat Seeker.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
That's cool.
That
looking.
would be- I love that. Love the look of that.
I like that
I'm a
diskin
big
that
Tom-
you have.
Yeah.
That diskin is
Tashi
sweet.
Baruka. Yeah.
You know, talking about Tashi, he's got a limited 200-piece run coming through Custom Knife Factory.
Ooh, really?
Oh, I know.
Like $750. You know, it's not cheap, but not bad for a Tashi design.
Yeah.
And it's, if you look at the handle on it, it's very, very complex. There's a lot of crazy milling on that handle. And it's not just one pattern. There's like 2 or 3 different patterns on it that are milled out. So,
I
green.
heard there's a Marfione or Marifone, however you say it, Tony from Microtech guy, that he's doing a collaboration with Riot.
Really?
Really?
Or not Riyadh,
Okay.
sorry, with CKF.
Oh,
That's
really?
cool too.
Marfion?
That's
That's
what
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They got the new T3500 coming out too.
Yeah.
Tosh. They just released the T3000. That one's nice.
Yeah, I
That's
think
weird.
Riyadh's finish is incredible. I mean, this is not the first Riyadh I've handled. I tried the Chavez. I've handled a few of their in-house designs too, and then you
Yeah.
sent me the idea.
Idea. Yep.
So that was a cool knife to look at. So everything I've touched by Riyadh so far, I've been really impressed with. And I do have a Brian Nadeau Sharp Eye Design Typhoon that I ordered recently too. So that'll be another Riyadh knife that I can check out and see what it's like.
What
If
blade
you
shape
guys
did
want
you
to
get on the Typhoon?
What's that, Jake?
What blade shape did you get on the new Typhoon?
I got a Damasteel Harpoon,
That's dope.
the Harpoon.
but that was a hard choice. Both of those new blade shapes look awesome. The Bowie looks really nice too. But I got that with just green micarta. Did we lose Jake? You still there, Jake?
No, he's not. We must have lost him.
So yeah, so that should be an interesting knife. I really wish I would have known the Knife Nuts podcast version was coming out after, because I would have bought that. But too late.
That's all right. At least you got one.
Yeah. Well, the Knife Nuts podcast one was gonna have been $125 cheaper, and it had that really cool purple Marvel carbon fiber on it. And it's
Wow, I thought-
hand rubbed satin. It would have been nice. I like their hand rubbed satin's really actually really nice. I don't know like what their process is, but it's really relatively almost identical to a really good custom knife maker.
Yeah, they do good work.
Yeah.
So I just went on From Russia with Knives. I found the link. There's no picture of it, but it says CKF Marfione collab knife, M390, Thai, carbon fiber, Zerk, Timascus. Doesn't show a price yet, but it shows that it's a thing.
Well, and you
then-
know, I should ask him because I've heard nothing about this project now for well over a year, but Jim Skelton was supposed to make a small flipper with them too.
So I just, in the description, it says it's a mashup between the SOCOM and the Makosha,
Oh, that's weird.
which
Huh.
should be really interesting. Hopefully it's a tip up SOCOM. I would like that quite a bit.
With CKF, I doubt it's going to be a tip down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Custom Knife Factory does. Mike's not one to do that usually, but
If they do a tip up SOCOM with like Zerk and micarta and stuff on it, I'll be so interested. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
I
nice.
was totally going to buy that Tashi one that's coming out, but I got that Custom America that's coming, so I can't afford it. Because there's only going to be 200 pieces, so it's just a quick in and out production run, and that's a really cool knife from Tashi. That's a really nice design that he did. Very complex. It's like, I mean, it's not a user's knife. It's more like a collector's knife, I guess you could say.
Yeah, showy. His knives are more showy. I love his lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very distinct, very signature look. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one thing I've seen that looks better in my hands than a Tashi, you know. But
Tom's tiny hands.
yeah, well, we'll see.
Here we go. If there's only one thing that the Knife Whisperer wants in his hand, it's Tom's little hand.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to just hold it like this. He wants to waffle it together.
It'd be like doing that with a child.
It'd be like, here's Tom's arm, and then here's your hand. And there's
Oh
some.
man.
That's not his arm.
All right, boys. I gotta go. My phone's dying on me here.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for- Definitely. We'll do this again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming
Got
on.
it.
Thanks, Joe.
And remember, guys, the Knife Whisperer loves you.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
See
Hey, come
ya.
on, you're leaving without the gun show?
Oh, hold on.
The gun show.
Is that
Those
cancer?
are pretty large guns, though.
Hey, I made the screen big just for that.
There
Is
you
that a
go.
tumor?
That requires a lot of masturbation, my friend.
There is. I won't show you my forearm muscle. Is it that or because I work on a farm?
Well, it
It's
could
a
be
secret.
Yeah.
both. It could be both at the same time.
Milk the bulls.
Shit.
All right, guys. Love you long time.
All right, man.
See ya,
Have a
Joe.
good one.
See you soon.
Peace.
Bye.
Joe.
You boys ready to
Oh,
wrap this?
I forgot to ask him what's up with that avatar he's got. Did you guys see his avatar?
I did.
Yeah.
It was like how do you even describe that? Aladdin?
Well,
It had like a little sword.
I'm not even sure.
That's probably somebody. It's somebody who tried to sell him some Pakistani Damascus on Instagram in the DMs.
Oh yeah. That's great.
I just didn't even ask questions when I saw it. I was like, yeah, we're just gonna let that go.
Oh, that was fun having Joe on. He's a little bit quieter than I expected.
That's all right.
You're just
But
intimidating.
remember, Joe, the sharp talk loves you.
All right, boys, we ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for everyone in the Twitch chat that sat around like always and talked in there. Thank you guys for listening after the fact.
Wait. Was Paul in there?
He was.
All right, cool. We're just making sure. He needs to be there.
He's always
He got
there.
our shirt. He got our shirt, so he's representing you.
True. So thank
Now
you
it's a
guys
requirement.
that are watching or listening after the fact on YouTube and all the other platforms
Hold
that it's
on.
on.
Wait. Okay, now go.
I'm gonna restart. Thank you guys for listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube and listening on all the other platforms that it's on. I'm gonna mute you, Alex. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?